So the way this panel is going to work is it's going to be questions and answers, which means you're going to ask me questions, and then I in turn will provide you with entertaining answers. But first, before we get to that, I'm going to give you a little time to think of questions. My name is John Walsh. I run the channel Super Eye Patch Wolf on YouTube.
Happy boy!
Thank you. And about, I'd say 2.5 years ago now, I uploaded a video called Why You Should Watch Hunter x Hunter, or Hunter x Hunter. Good, I'm glad people still like that one. I watch it and I want to die. Little warning, I'm not meant to swear in this panel, and I'm going to try and absolutely not swear, but please do forgive me if one or two slip out. Little question, is there anyone here who has no idea who I am or has never seen one of my videos? Who brought you here? What are you doing? He's gonna be so bored. He's gonna be like, this is stupid. Why would I watch someone talk about anime? Why would I not just watch anime? I'm so sorry. I hope this is enjoyable. But yeah, I promise I'll try and make this as enjoyable as I can. I'm cool with pretty much answering any kind of question. It can be about anime or YouTube or life or whatever. I will do my best to answer them. Might not be able to answer them all, but yeah, ask whatever the hell you like. And so, who's going to be brave enough to? Man, American panels are so different to Irish panels. It's like whenever I do a panel in Ireland, everyone's like, oh, I don't know. Yeah, it's good to see plenty of questions. Why don't we kick things off with this gentleman right here? The fantastic hairstyle.
First I want to say thank you so much, John, for all your work. I took basically a 10-year sabbatical from watching anime, and discovering your channel has given me the ability to appreciate so much content out there and so many great series I wouldn't have otherwise discovered.
You were probably better off without it. I'm so sorry.
I had a question that's related to your wrestling video, which I hope everybody watched. Which is fantastic. As you're well aware of, in anime, the majority of wrestling animes are shoots, such as Kinnikuman and the Tiger Mask series that just aired. And I was wondering, do you think, what are your thoughts about the possibility of wrestling anime that treat it as a work? Do you think there's possibility for storylines, or are there any thoughts about that?
That's a really interesting question. I guess just on the subject of the wrestling anime first, there's a story I kind of like with that. When I've been playing with the idea of doing a wrestling-based video for like a long time, but I was like, oh, it's too different. People freak out. They won't be happy with it. And then I was like, okay, you know what? I'm gonna do it. So I started researching it, and I was like, you know what? I'll just put a little tester out on Twitter just to see what the reaction is. Like, would that make people mad? And so I put out, I can't even remember what it said, it was some little teaser comment, and I posted it, and I hit refresh, and I was like, I hope people don't get mad. And the first comment was, I swear to God, if you make a video about wrestling, I'm going to stab someone. And I just deleted the tweet and was like, I might need to rethink this. But then I made it anyway. So the question you just asked is pretty much the interesting thing about wrestling for anyone who's seen that video is, it's kind of like, there's the fictional world of wrestling and there's the actual real life wrestling, and the fictional world is that everyone believes it's real even though it's not. And the problem is with making any fictional medium about wrestling is, do you treat it like it's real or do you accept that it's fake? And I think the vast majority of wrestling anime pretends that it's real. And that's a tough one. I would love to see wrestling anime where they're just all hanging out backstage and just having a great time. I think there could be some really good drama in that. I don't know if we'll ever get that, because in Japan, in Japan, wrestling's nearly real. It's still not, but it's nearly real. Are there many wrestling fans in the audience? Good stuff. The rest of you go watch my video on wrestling. Next question, please. You there. You are.
I just want to say, great. Thanks for all your videos because I was like, someone who gets me. Anyway, so I love Junji Ito, and to the point where I'm gonna get a Junji Ito tattoo on my back. But anyway,
Nice.
and I was just like wondering, how did you get into Junji Ito's work? Because I know it's very not for everyone. His work is very unconventional.
I was actually working in an animation studio, and it had this massive media drive folder. It was this really weird time where I was doing a job for Disney, and they were contractually obligated to bring in all these compositors, and I was a compositor, but there was no work for me to do because the project was way behind. But they didn't want Disney to know that, and so they just brought me in, and I pretty much just went through their entire media drive. And then one day I clicked on a folder that just said Junji Ito, and I had no idea what it was. And the first one I read was The Enigma of Amigara Falls. And I read it and I was like, this is weird. And then I got to the end of it, and it just went cold. I was like, for anyone who knows the last bit of that chapter, and I just thought about it for the rest of the day, and I was like, okay, I need to never read anything that man does ever again, or I need to read every story. And I like to think I made the right decision, but yeah, that was how I got into Junji Ito. He's a special one, that man. Next question, please. Let's go for Luffy, the Luffy hat.
Hey, I first was introduced to your work through the Berserk 2016 video.
Yes.
Happened. Sorry, don't want to swear in front of the kids. But what I really found interesting about that is that you broke down the cinematography problems with the show. It just was all over the place. They made decisions that made no sense. And that's something I've noticed in a lot of anime shows that I've watched. I do enjoy this show to some extent for what it is, but Dragon Ball Super's made the same mistake time and time again where they don't take advantage of certain film techniques of cinematography and it just comes off very repetitive. So I was wondering, what would you personally think is some of the best examples of cinematography or any film technique in anime, or if it's not used properly?
In terms of best, I would say maybe Kaiji Ultimate Survivor is a fantastic one. Anything by Satoshi Kon, but especially Perfect Blue. There's that one shot in Perfect Blue, and it's my favorite shot in the entire world, where Mr. Mamani is holding out his hand and he has Mima dancing on his hand. And that's that entire film in one shot, and it's incredible. In terms of stuff that doesn't work, let me think. I thought the recent Junji Ito collection, I know I did a video on it, but the cinematography in that is god awful. It's so bad. And I think it really kills that show. It makes it look so boring. Next question, please. Let's go for the My Hero Academia girl. Can we get a hand for this guy with the microphone?
Video about Devilman or Devilman Crybaby.
I really liked Devilman Crybaby. It's kind of one of those videos I've been thinking of doing, but it's been on the back burner for a while. I don't know if I will get around to doing it. Probably eventually. I'm gonna run out of ideas at some point. But I thought that was a really cool show, and I think there's a lot to talk about there, especially how weird it is that it even exists. I never would have put that director with that series, and I think it's a really fun one. Next question, please. Let's go for someone in the back. You there? Yes, you. Just put your hands down.
So as someone who doesn't watch nearly as much anime as he used to,
Good, you're safe.
I've kind of noticed that in watching most of your videos that involve older work and listening to the Bosscast where you talk about kind of a disconnect with the current generation of anime. I find it's hard to find inspiration to find new series when you feel kind of disconnected to the medium at the moment. Do you have any suggestions when it comes to trying to find new things that might interest someone who doesn't feel connected with the medium right now?
That's a good question. I think it's something that everyone goes through because it sucks when you go through a bunch of new series Like I know there's a lot of popular series out this season. I'm not really into barely any of them, which is really disappointing. But I think when you start getting fed up with anime or even video games or whatever, it's always a really good idea to try and break out of your comfort zone and watch something you wouldn't usually watch. Like if you had told me at the start of this year that a Sanrio show was going to be my favorite anime so far, I'd be like, get out of here and take your lies with you. So I think it's always good to try and check out new kinds of shows, and eventually then you find something that's like, I never would have imagined I'd be into this, but I am. So that'd be my advice. Next question, please. Let's go for you there filming me without permission.